Hello, guys. Good morning. Happy coffee talk. Coffee this morning is my Ravens Brew coffee, Wicked Wolf, and it's in my really cool raccoon art mug. I think it's like Native American art. It's got owls and fish and all sorts of cool stuff in it. And I love this mug, and it looks like it's going to be another sunny, awesome day. I'm super excited. So anyways, thanks for plugging into Coffee Talk. I can't tell you guys that enough. If you're a new listener, I appreciate you coming and checking this out. This started just as me drinking coffee and sharing some of my thoughts, perspectives, ideas with you, and has now become something that I do nearly every day. Not quite every day, but most days. And I love hearing back from you. I love hearing which episodes resonate. I love hearing questions, all of that stuff. And so thanks for listening. If you're new, again, I always share what I'm drinking. These are almost never about coffee. And then I just talk to you about what I think might be helpful for you. And so thanks for being here. And if you haven't already signed up for Nutrition Boot Camp, now is the time. Nutrition Boot Camp starts on Sunday. It's kickoff Sunday. We start Monday. So you're going to get a really cool tracker with daily targets. So the idea is that you complete what's on your daily targets. You check off the box on your tracker. You need to complete all 10 days. If you complete all 10 days, then you're in the running to win one of 3 prizes. And the idea is that the things that you're checking off are 1, really good for you. And 2, you're going to learn some stuff along the way about nutrition that you need to know. Here's the thing. You need to know some certain things about nutrition. And if you follow along, you'll actually have everything you need at the end of Nutrition Boot Camp to put together your own personalized nutrition plan, which you can do over and over again for the rest of your life. And so this is the Nutrition Boot Camp you need to attend. So I'm going to put the link in the show notes and all the places. Be sure to sign up. You got to register to be a part of it. And I can't wait to get started on Sunday. Man, I had actually a couple different coffee talk ideas this morning. I looked at my water bottle. This is the one I was telling you about yesterday. That is, I don't know. I think I drank 50 ounces of water yesterday, not 80. Didn't drink the whole bottle. So the magic water bottle didn't work. It is working though, right? If we're it's not all or nothing. Here's my water bottle. I drank a decent amount of it. I was just trying to decide whether I should fill it back up this morning or if I should make myself finish it. What do you think? I can't decide. I feel like I should make myself finish it and then fill it back up again, or I just start today with 80 ounces and we start over and try again. I don't know. I can't decide. I always am battling with myself, this all or nothing, which I think a lot of people struggle with because we want to feel all in. This morning, I actually woke up. If you don't know, I actually have a little bit of food sensitivity, not a ton, but a little bit. And if I am eating really clean, then I get away with having a little bit of stuff. I can have a little bit of gluten, a little bit of dairy, a little bit of whatever. But when it starts to show up a lot, then I really can feel it. And I feel like over the past 2 weeks, it's been more than a little. And I don't feel as good. And that's always my cue is my fingers don't feel as good. They get a little bit swollen. My face gets a little bit puffy, and then I'm well, you got to rein it in because you can't have the foods that cause your body to be inflamed. It has nothing to do with weight loss and a lot more to do with inflammation, retaining water, and kind of feeling that again, I feel it in my fingers usually. And I can sometimes feel it in my knee. So when my knee is extra sore, sometimes food is a part of that. So this morning I woke up and thought to myself, again, speaking of all or nothing, I'm done. No more, list 5 things. No more gluten, no more corn, no more dairy, no more sugar, no more alcohol. That's what I told myself. I'm taking a break. And I think I will. I'm going to take a break from those 5 things because they tend to inflame my body, and I was doing them anyway. But it was very much that I'm all in mindset. And it's that sometimes feels good. Sometimes it feels well, yeah, I'm going to commit to the all in thing, boot camp. You're I want to do boot camp perfect. I'm going to be all in. I'm going to do all 10 days of boot camp. I'm going to nail it. The problem is that in actuality, it doesn't have to be all in for it to work typically. I mean, I can make this commitment to remove some inflammatory foods and at the same time also have a day that accidentally went sideways and then get right back to it and be probably okay and still get most of the benefit. But we don't think about it that way. Usually if we screw up, then we're well, start over. And so my water bottle is like this reminder. I'm like, I did pretty good yesterday. That 50 ounces of water is more water than I normally drink. It's more water than I normally drink for sure. And I think I'll fill it back up now that I'm looking at it. I think I'll fill it back up and give myself another chance to drink all of it. Because yesterday I talked to you about just doing it. Like with walking, you just commit to doing it, giving yourself that perspective that you need. I think I'm just going to keep on working at it, keep on doing it, even if it's just 50 to 60 to 70 and then soon maybe 80 ounces of water. But this all or nothing thing really, really sabotages people, because what happens is that one, it forces you to procrastinate, because if you can't go all in, then you don't need to start right now. You're like, well, I can't do it because of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that means I'm going to have to wait till I can. And so 1, procrastination. 2, it lets you off the hook. 1, if something's going to be very hard, like think about it. If you may or may not be successful, then it's not really that fun to do it, because you might actually struggle with it. And we don't like to struggle. We don't like to not be successful. We want to be successful. So then when we struggle, we're like, well, we either need help, we need to ask for help, nobody likes that, or we have to admit that something was hard, or we have to put in effort to learn. Either way, struggle is not necessarily desirable in most people's minds. And so if we don't try because we need to be all in so that we can do it perfect, then we let ourselves off the hook. We don't have to do it at all. So that's another thing. And then once we start and we're all in, we give ourselves reasons to quit, because when we're all or nothing, we can quit at any moment. We can quit. We have the permission to screw it up and quit, because if it's all in and you just messed it up, well, you're done. That's the problem. So we spend a lot of time not doing anything. We spend a lot of time letting ourselves off the hook on things that we actually need to learn and grow and be better and do better at. And then once we do it, we give ourselves reason to quit. And so all in general, all or nothing is a toxic mindset that is not helping us. And so I want you to search for it in your days. Try to find places where you're doing it, and then catch yourself and say, I don't want to practice this mindset, right? That's the other thing too, is you might be like, well, it's fine in this one category, but not over here. I hear you, Christy. I won't do it when it comes to nutrition. I can't be all in, but I am going to do it over here. Is it a great idea to practice that mindset somewhere else? I don't know. Probably not. I think we should practice this mindset. I'm going to show up and put out the best that I can. I'm going to learn. I'm going to grow. If it's not perfect, that's fine. I'm going to get better. That's what I'm going to do. That's the mindset that we need to practice. And so I just want to encourage you, especially around exercise, around nutrition, around walking, around taking care of yourself, around you name it, even around cleaning your house or getting organized, strength training, whatever it is, you don't need to wait till you can go all in. That is a fallacy. It's more sexy actually to sell, though, by the way, from a business perspective. It's harder to be like, hey, you can have a couple days that don't go perfect. I want you to do this thing anyway, because it's going to still be very productive. You're going to get great results, versus, hey, we're going to do the 21-day sugared nothing detox, can't have anything, sign up, now. People are like, well, that's what I need to do. I need to be 21 days all in. I need that. And I can hear it. Even in my voice, you can probably hear how real that sounds, because that's what people want. Because it sounds better, because it sounds sexier and fun, but it actually doesn't work in the long run. It is absolutely a trick. So yeah, all or nothing is not serving you. And I wish that it was just as simple as being like, well, I'm not going to think that way, but you have to take action to prove it. Okay. So you can tell me I'm not going to be all or nothing. That's fine. That's just your words. I need you to actually do it, though. So that when you're like, hey, I'm committed to, say, for example, that you're trying to cut back on drinking. Summer season, lots of people have all the drinks. Maybe you're trying to cut back. So you're like, Christy, I'm cutting back, and I'm only going to give myself 2 drinks this week. That's what I'm committed to. I'm all in on this commitment. That's my summer commitment, 2 drinks this summer. And then you go somewhere last weekend and it turns into 4 or 5 because you had so much fun with your friends. And then you're like, Christy, well, my commitment, it didn't happen. It's just not going to work for me. That's that all or nothing mindset. Even though you didn't weren't necessarily all or nothing around the drinking, right? Like you were giving yourself two. Your mindset was all or nothing. I'm either committed to doing this or I'm not. It's either going to work or it's not. Well, that's not true. Again, you're just letting yourself off the hook so then you can do whatever you want. You're giving yourself an excuse to quit. You're giving yourself an excuse to say something didn't work, when in all reality, you just have to keep going. It's like, well, this week it's going to be 2. Next week it's going to be 2. Next week it's going to be 2. I'm not giving up on this commitment. And think about how many less over the course of the summer. So say there's like 20 weeks in the summer. I don't know if there's 20 weeks, but say there's 20 weeks. And you had committed to this thing that I just said, like with the drinking, right? So say you committed to 2 drinks a week. You're cutting way back. That's 40 drinks over the summer. Okay, 40. The first couple weeks, you're good, doing great, but then you have that, like I just described, like it kind of went sideways. You had too much fun. You ended up having like 6 drinks. You feel bad because you didn't stick to your promise, but you're like, I had 6 drinks, right? So you could quit. And if you quit, you probably won't be having 2 the rest of the summer. You're probably going to be having, 3, 4, whatever, because you quit. You might not have 6 every week, but you might definitely not have 2. So you're going to have way more over the course of the summer, because you've given yourself permission to not try anymore. You're done. It didn't work. Or you just get right back to it and you get back to your 2s, right? And then at the end of the summer, instead of 40, maybe you had 44, 46, whoopity-doo. But instead, if you had averaged 5, right, over the course of the whole summer, 5 times 20 is 100. So you can see, like, it's a big deal over time. And giving yourself this all or nothing cop out means that over time you are doing significantly less than you should be, or significantly more than you should be, like depending on what it is, because you don't need to try anymore because you didn't do it perfect. So my question to you today is, are you catching yourself in the all or nothing? Are you doing something about it? I want to challenge you to find spaces where you're doing this. Ask yourself, am I procrastinating? Am I giving myself a reason that I don't have to try? Am I letting myself off the hook so I give myself an excuse to quit? Am I looking for impossible wins? Like say you did the 21-day sugar, no food detox, right? And you like doing it. You actually succeeded in doing it. You were all in. Did it serve you at the end? Was that actually the outcome that you wanted? Were you able to maintain that? Was that like all in game that you played worth it? Or did you have a swing back? Just ask yourself those questions. No judgment. And don't forget to sign up for Nutrition Bootcamp. I'm going to teach you more about this mindset stuff as it relates to food, but I'm also going to give you some very practical advice on what kind of foods to eat, how much to eat, what you're missing on food labels, everything that you need to know, and you're going to get moving and get some booty kicking along the way. So sign up for Nutrition Bootcamp. If you haven't done so, subscribe to Fit Me Coffee Talk on your favorite podcast platform. And if you're not a part of our Facebook group yet, go to Facebook, search Fit Me Community, request to join the group, and I will add you there. Talk to you soon. Bye.